start of Bourne Identity, we meet Bourne, who is on the phone. He looks like an ordinary person because his costumes is a jumper and some jeans, which convinces us of his casual status in a normal situation on the street. Because Bourne looks like a normal person, this confirms that it is a thriller. When Bourne gets off the phone, he starts to walk down the street, and the score starts to build tension. As he walks faster, the handheld camera shows Bourne's point of view and how he is cautious and on the lookout for everything he sees. As Bourne sees the police and police car, there is a diegetic siren which thrills us at the same time. Sound is important to build tension in a thriller. I think the sound was very effective in the opening because the audience feel like Bourne is in danger. The sound in the opening confirms it was a thriller because sound builds tension and creates suspense. To match the sound, Bourne is walking and the camera uses long shots so the audience understand where the location is. The location is important as it is a city, which again is a thriller coding convention of the thriller. The scene is also a chase scene, which is the key convention of a thriller and builds the tension as the plot follows Bourne. The scene is in the opening cuts from handheld camera behind Bourne following him to a mid-shot of his face. After he walks past the police, this helps the audience understand that Bourne is on edge about seeing the police, and it builds panic for the audience because they feel like Bourne is up to no good and might get caught. After Bourne sees the police, we see Bourne walk around the corner. The camera shots are edited to continuous editing system. This makes the shot smooth, but we also see Bourne pick up speed, telling the audience he is rushing to get to where he is going and trying to avoid the police. This links to the gender because Bourne is an ordinary person in an extraordinary things happen. The rest of the walking clip, the camera cuts quickly to the ambulance and back to Bourne. This is a pan on a handheld camera. This creates panic for the audience because the close-up after shows Bourne's panic and worry on his face. We also see Bourne's point of view. This adds suspense to the scene because it shows Bourne is worried about people following him. When we see Bourne's point of view as a flag, the audience feel relieved because Bourne is somewhere safe. And when the camera shows Bourne's passport, we also feel relieved because it makes it clear that Bourne is a normal citizen, and this shows he is a hero so the audience can trust him. After Bourne enters the building, the police try for a second to enter. This adds tension because we think Bourne might not be safe, but then the mid-shot shows that Bourne is safe because the police get stopped from entering the building. It then cuts to Bourne waiting in a queue. It adds tension because the audience have to wait to see if Bourne is going to be safe and do what he has to do. Cutting from scene of Bourne to the scene of the woman adds tension because we can see she is going to take long and adds suspense to the scene, and it builds a plot because we see Bourne's point of view of the police and it still makes the audience think, will he get caught? The camera also does close-up of Bourne's face to make the audience show that Bourne is nervous and makes the audience feel like he's up to something that isn't legal. This also adds tension and creates mystery for the audience and question who Bourne is. When Bourne tries to walk away, the audience feel relieved because Bourne is walking away from the situation, but at the same time this shows that he isn't sure what he is doing, so clearly he isn't up to any good. When the policeman shouts, this makes Bourne trapped. The scene turns to slow motion while we see Bourne in mid-shot, showing where he is, and we see the close-up of the policeman's handcuffed, showing that Bourne is in danger. Although this is another convention of a thriller, that the hero is trapped and stuck with no way out without getting caught. The scene then suddenly changes to fast-paced when Bourne starts to attack. This also shows the film is a thriller because Bourne is an ordinary citizen, but also a hard man and violence is involved. It also makes Bourne's identity more unclear and the audience are still wondering who he is. The scene is also an aerial shot to make the audience feel like they are him and show how hard it would be for Bourne to escape if he was a normal citizen. It also is on fast-paced to add drama and to make the violence seem more dangerous. When Bourne grabs a gun, it becomes a chase scene because the police will be after Bourne. This shows that it's a thriller because a chase is always involved in a thriller. The use of stairs are also common, the thought of going up and no way down. This makes the audience feel like Bourne is trapped. These are all thriller conventions to add tension in the scene. Bourne also represents a hero because he didn't shoot anyone. We saw a close-up of Bourne putting the gun in the bin, showing he doesn't want anyone to get hurt, he just wants to escape. There is violence in the chase scene to thrill the audience while watching. When Bourne grabs the map, it makes the audience again feel relieved because the hero has a plan. The camera then pans from right to left, showing that everyone is scared of him and running away. It also cuts from Bourne to the army man. This has tension because not only is it one against a load of men, and Bourne doesn't have any weapons while the other army men do. This makes the scene more suspense because if Bourne doesn't escape, he could be in serious trouble. The chase scene is also going upstairs, showing another convention. The higher up they get, the more trapped Bourne becomes and they're less likely to escape. The scene then cuts from Bourne finding a way out to the police pointing guns at everyone. This has tension and builds a plot. I think the director does this to scare the audience to make them aware what they will do to Bourne. Bourne then makes it to the door. There is nowhere to go because the door won't open. This has tension because the audience have to wait while the camera shot shows the outside of the door to see if Bourne gets through. When he does, the scene has panic and tension because the shots are long shot down to see the bag. This shows how far down it is and what you would feel like if you were Bourne. When Bourne nearly falls, we see his point of view when the bag falls. This shows how long down it is because we see how long the bag falls for. The shots then cut between Bourne to the police, creating bigger panic because Bourne is trapped and there is nowhere out. This adds a thriller convention. The shots are high shots when Bourne is dangling. This adds panic because we see the length of the building. The shots of the police show how many there is. The camera shows the long shots of the police to show how close they are to Bourne, making the audience scared because Bourne still hasn't escaped. The shots then cut between Bourne to the police, creating bigger panic because Bourne is trapped and there is nowhere out. This adds a thriller convention. The shots are high shots when Bourne is dangling. This adds panic because we see the length of the building. The shots of the police show how many there is. The camera shows the long shots of the police to show how close they are to Bourne, making the audience scared because Bourne still hasn't escaped. When the police burst through the door, the audience is on the edge of their seats because we don't know how long Bourne can hold on for. It also shows it is a thriller because Bourne is a normal citizen but also a strong man. When the police give up, this shows how smart Bourne is and how calm because he hasn't shown panic that he's holding onto a building.